Welcome to our International Student Brief Show. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of international education. First up, despite rising tensions and tighter visa rules, Chinese students are still eager to pursue higher education in the US. They value academic freedom, prestigious schools, and diverse programs, even as some consider alternative countries like the UK and Canada due to geopolitical concerns. Next, a survey from Nikkei Asia reveals that nearly a third of Japanese companies are reconsidering sending employees to U.S. universities because of political pressures from the Trump administration. Companies are exploring other English-speaking nations, showing how shifting U.S. policies are impacting international study plans and talent development. Finally, in Australia, the recent surge in international students has contributed to inflation, especially in housing and retail sectors. However, the Reserve Bank states that these students are just one of many factors influencing the economy, and their overall impact on rent and inflation is limited. So, international students continue to play a vital role in local economies and global education trends. Please continue to watch for the detailed stories. Nikkei Asia reports that Japanese corporations are increasingly reconsidering their strategies for sending employees to study in the United States amidst rising political tensions and restrictive policies under the Trump administration. Nearly 34% of the surveyed companies have already sent employees to top U.S. universities like Harvard and Stanford, but over a quarter are contemplating halting or modifying these programs due to concerns over visa issues and the perceived unwelcoming environment. Companies such as Mitsui O.S.K. Lines are exploring alternative destinations in English-speaking countries, citing fears that long-term U.S. policies could diminish the appeal of American higher education, which has historically attracted exceptional talent worldwide. Business leaders worry that reduced exposure to U.S. institutions might hinder the development of diverse, global-minded future leaders, emphasizing the importance of international experience for innovation and competitiveness. Despite these concerns, some executives advise patience, noting that U.S. policies are often subject to change and that trial and error is part of the broader political landscape, leaving the future of U.S.-based study programs uncertain. South China Morning Post highlights the resilient yet more discerning approach of Chinese students seeking American higher education amid geopolitical tensions. Despite the U.S. government's efforts to tighten visa restrictions and scrutinize international students, Chinese applicants remain persistent, driven by the allure of academic freedom, prestigious institutions, and vibrant urban environments like New York and San Francisco. Schools such as the University of New Mexico and the University of California, San Francisco, continue to attract Chinese students with affordable tuition, scholarships, and specialized resources, although some universities report a decline in Chinese enrollment due to visa hurdles and geopolitical uncertainties. Many students, like Zhou Yuba, remain committed, viewing U.S. education as a valuable investment that can enhance career prospects both in China and abroad. However, families are increasingly weighing risks, considering alternatives closer to home or in other Western countries like Canada, reflecting a cautious optimism as they navigate the complex landscape of international education amidst rising geopolitical tensions and policy restrictions. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation highlights Jonas Darmo's story of paying off his HECS help debt early, using his savings and a loan from his parents, emphasizing his desire for peace of mind amidst rising interest rates. The government's recent legislation, aimed at reducing student debt by 20%, would have benefited Darmos financially, but he focused more on the personal relief of clearing his debt. Meanwhile, data shows voluntary student loan repayments have significantly decreased, with the average time to repay extending to nearly a decade, reflecting a shift where students are less inclined or able to make voluntary payments. Financial planners suggest that the new debt reductions could provide some breathing space for young Australians to prioritize other financial goals, such as buying homes or paying off credit cards, especially with increased repayment thresholds helping those earning between $54,435 and $67,000. The changing repayment landscape indicates a possible easing of financial pressures for students, allowing them more flexibility to manage their debts and personal finances amidst the rising cost of living. The Sydney Morning Herald discusses the role of international students in Australia's recent inflation surge, with Reserve Bank economists noting that although they spend twice as much as residents, mainly on tuition and initial setup costs, their overall contribution to inflation is limited and part of a complex mix of economic factors. The surge in international student numbers from under 300,000 in 2022 to over 560,000 in 2023 has increased demand for housing and services, putting upward pressure on rents and real estate prices, especially in inner-city areas where students make up a significant portion of the rental market. Despite their vital role in sectors like retail and healthcare, recent policy debates focus on managing international arrivals to balance economic benefits with housing affordability. While international students are more likely to rent and contribute to demand, their overall impact on inflation is nuanced. Supply constraints, rising construction costs, and government policies on student work hours and visa regulations also shape the broader economic picture. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, has clarified that the surge in international student numbers after the pandemic did not significantly drive up rents and inflation. The RBA's recent quarterly bulletin highlights that while the rapid growth in international students, rising from under 300,000 in 2022 to over 560,000 in 2023, did contribute to some inflationary pressures in early 2023, it was only a minor factor compared to other economic forces. International students, who tend to rent more than residents and are concentrated around educational hubs, did influence housing demand, and their spending, especially upon arrival, had some short-term impact on aggregate demand. However, the overall effect on rents was limited, as much of the rent increase predated border reopenings. Additionally, international students play a vital role in Australia's economy, contributing significantly to exports and migration, and their impact on the labor market has grown, although recent policy changes may reduce their work participation. Their savings and spending patterns, particularly on tuition and living expenses, did have some influence on inflation, but the RBA emphasizes that the international student influx was just one of many factors driving demand and inflation during that period, not the primary cause. The Independent highlights how Proton VPN can be a game-changer for travelers using their Amazon Fire TV stick, transforming any screen into a portal for UK streaming services like BBC iPlayer, ITVX, and Channel 4, even when abroad. The article vividly describes the limitations faced when trying to access content overseas and emphasizes Proton VPN's ability to spoof locations, allowing users to enjoy their favorite shows and sports as if they were back home. It provides a clear step-by-step guide on how to download and set up Proton VPN on the Fire TV stick, underscoring the importance of a paid subscription for uninterrupted streaming, especially for those eager to catch up on UK-based entertainment while traveling. The Independent's report on financial preparedness for holidays paints a vivid picture of the ongoing reliance on cash in a digital age, revealing that over a third of travelers have faced situations where cash was essential, be it tipping, taxis, or shopping at small retailers. The story underscores the risks of depending solely on cards, such as ATM fees or poor exchange rates, especially in rural areas where card acceptance might be limited. Money expert Amelia Murray advocates for a cash cushion, emphasizing the importance of understanding card policies and travel insurance coverage. This detailed advice aims to prepare travelers for the unexpected, ensuring they're not caught off guard by costs or limited payment options abroad. Australian Broadcasting Corporation offers a compelling snapshot of the political landscape as Parliament reconvenes, spotlighting the stark underrepresentation of women in the Liberal Party's lower house, with only 6 female members. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's optimistic tone is contrasted by the Liberals' efforts to rebrand, especially through Suzanne Lay's personal storytelling on 60 Minutes, showcasing her skills and family life to foster a more relatable image. The article vividly captures the political drama, including the Liberals' shift from a no-alition to a more cooperative stance on key legislation, signaling a potential thaw in their traditionally oppositional approach. It also details the ongoing electoral volatility in Tasmania, where frequent elections and swings in voter support reveal a deeply fluctuating political climate, with new figures like Bridget Archer defying federal trends and hinting at possible shifts in voter sentiment. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.